Well, good Wednesday morning, Mississippi. We are live on the road here with Good Morning Mississippi in the River City. You can see behind me. I hadn't been here since right after the tornado hit, and aside from the lights being on, there's still cables on the ground. There's still a lot of destruction still in the area. I had a chance to speak with the Mississippi Emergency Management Association Executive Director, Stephen McCraney, about what's next for the River City and the people here that need help the most, and some information about what the governor is doing to still try to get on a federal level that money funneled into Moss Point. Take a listen. Executive Director Stephen McCraney with MEMA. Thanks for joining us this morning. How are you?
Oh, doing very well. Thank you for the invite.
Absolutely. So we're a month and a little more than a month past that EF2 tornado that ripped through Moss Point. So kind of from a MEMA perspective, where do we stand right now?
Well, where we stand right now is almost right on time. We're not behind the power curve, and we're not way ahead either. The first opportunity was to get the response done. That is where you get into a community. You start looking at damage assessments. You start shelters, cooling centers, et cetera, getting those things done. And the city of Moss Point responded fabulously with that, and Jackson County also supported those efforts. So where we currently lay is we had about approximately $22 million worth of damage in Jackson County. And it was $22 million worth of damage. But you have to understand that after Katrina, the federal government came back and said, any government buildings, et cetera, you need to be insured. And if not, we're not going to entertain any type of reimbursement. So those numbers dwindled down a little bit. And so the state, we looked at the damages in the state from the 14th to the 20th, and we asked FEMA to recognize that event, that there was a Derico event, that there's a trough of winds that were daily coming through. So they said that they would support us in that, and it was verified by the National Weather Service. So we were able to go to 14 other counties and look at electrical power associations, which are an eligible applicant, and get some numbers up. So we were able to raise our damage assessments up to about $9.5 million, and the state's threshold was 5.2, and we didn't have that in Jasper and Jackson all in one place. So it was very important for us to be able to do that. I can't thank the counties enough, the other 14 that helped us gather that information quickly, and we got that declaration request up to FEMA, and we're sitting at number 6 out of about 9 to be evaluated by the Washington Bureau. So we're looking forward to it dropping any day.
With respect to that, if it gets approved and it all comes through, who is responsible for helping to pass that out? Will it be FEMA? Will it be MEMA? Will it be a combination of the two? And then will it be distributed based on the amount of need in each location?
Yeah. All right. Let's go individual assistance first. So that is the big ticket item that I, as executive director for Mississippi, that is the one that I want, because that's going to help the individual homeowner to get the max grant. Now is approximately $41,500 that somebody could get. In our last disasters in Rolling Fork and Amory, we got some max grants. The average is anywhere from about 5,000 to 8 or so, but that's where you get into the individual housing assistance, IHA program, IHP. But also it does other needs. So under the other needs category, you can also look at transportation needs, where if someone had a vehicle that was damaged and it can't be rehabbed, it can't be put back on the road safely. So there's funding there. So the other needs side really put some extra helpings of food on the plate, so to speak, that allows that homeowner, that person to really get some relief as well. But my priority is that individual side first. That's what we're really pushing for.
So for people that are still there in Moss Point that are still struggling to get by, what would you say are the next steps for those individuals?
Well, I think to talk about a development that has happened in Jackson County, we try to advise every county to have a long-term recovery committee. And that is a nonprofit that can evaluate and do the case management for those homeowners, and kind of rack and stack them. Where's number 1 and where's number 50? You know, how a priority order, and we have some grants on the backside that we can turn on to be able to help fund, like building supplies. If somebody just needs a half a roof or a roof patch because the storm, a limb maybe went through it, that we can get those building supplies and actually get those to them through the county. So that being said, also scheduling the volunteer groups that come in with labors, the carpenters, the 8 Days of Hope, the Mennonites, all those groups that will come through and help get those homes that are still structurally sound, but they just need to be tightened up because we're in hurricane season. We want to get that, the seals done, get it back looking better. So that's an intermediate program that the state has that we can definitely turn on, and they've energized that. And I believe Paige Roberts is the lady. She was working during Katrina down there, very familiar with the area. It was great to see her again when I was down there. So I think we've got some great traction there. And that's something for the interim time. And then when we get you asked me about, is it MEMA or FEMA? Well, I call it FEMA. So when we get a federal declaration, we combine forces. My individual assistance officers combine with the federal individual assistance officers, and they come with a much bigger package than the state has, but we work hand in hand. It is federally funded, state managed, and locally. That's where it's executed. So that is the focus, and we understand that the city and the citizens there have a vote, and we want to be able to get them back to as close to where they were.
For sure. I hadn't even thought about that. We are in the middle of hurricane season, and thankfully we've not had anything out there, but definitely still lots of work to get done out there. Director McCraney, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate you.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. And Director McCraney said he is going to do everything he can to keep an eye on that federal issue where they're trying to get that passed. If and when it is signed, he's going to get his hands on it, try and hit the ground running as quick as possible to get those funds when they're available to the folks here that need it the most.